Hey guys, welcome to a new video. Today I'm going to be showing you the SEO toolkit, which is a tool that I have created / am creating. This is another tool that once again is just following the same suit as all my past videos, which is me building things that are able to make my life easier and my viewers' lives easier, and basically around things that I do. So there are people who are listening who do print on demand, they do Etsy, they build blogs, they even post YouTube videos. And one of the things that, is connected to all those ideas is Google. People perform searches on Google all the time, and it's very likely that before you get that sale on Etsy or before you get that sale on, Redbubble, or even before somebody clicks on your YouTube video, it's very likely that they're performing a search on Google first. And then they find your link through Google, and then they get to that desired location, whatever it might be. It could be a product page, it could be a video, whatever it is. And, that doesn't happen all the time necessarily, but it happens quite a lot, which is why learning SEO is crucially important. One of the steps to learning SEO is understanding how to utilize keyword tools properly. And a keyword tool is sometimes more valuable than gold because it can actually help you make more money. So I want to give you guys a quick demonstration, an example of a tool that I am currently building / built that will be available once again in my members area, which is Passive Income School, where people can not only learn how to make money online, but also get access to software and tools and resources to help them make that money. So basically the way this works is very simply, you just perform a search by entering keyword, you have your location, you hit analyze. And then from there, what's going to happen is you're going to get data here. Now, I know you just saw like a little thing that said powered by OpenAI. That's only this part, right? That's just, a little information on SEO and things like that. This is powered by Google, all right? So I'm taking the search volume or the search data and the search trends from Google itself. And it's very, very useful of a tool. And I want to show you here something. We have here the bid range, the trend, the competition, the search volume, and of course I can export and, do all those kind of obvious features. But the reason why this is pretty cool is, let's say you're a YouTuber, and I do have a completely separate software that I created for YouTube, which, I made a video on that already. But let's say you're a YouTuber, you don't have access to that software. That software costs $50 a month. Well, you could use something like this and see basic differences in CPMs, right, in different costs. Now, you could see here, we performed a search for the word passive income, and there's clearly a lot of keywords here. I probably have to add a keyword counter that relates, but there's a lot of keywords. I mean, I could scroll here for days for the amount of keywords that relate to passive income. All this scrolling I'm doing, I'm not even halfway there yet. So the point is we probably have like a good, I don't know, yeah, there we go, 1,593 results relating to the keyword passive income. And you could see the CPMs, the competition of how much people are bidding on specific keywords, right? So like, for example, 33 cents to 62 cents, people are using this keyword, passive income, using Canva. And you could see here the trend is actually on the growth. It's 9.09 growth in terms of trend. You have a different keyword like this that has a CPM of 63 cents to 181, which is how much people are paying for every 1,000 impressions. That's what CPM is, cost per mille. And 22.73% increase in trend, competition is low, and the keyword is passive income work. So this is very, very useful. And once again, you could use this from Etsy standpoint. You can use this from a YouTube standpoint, really any kind of thing, even blogging, which is really what it's mainly used for, which is, when you're creating a blog, when you're creating these different articles, sometimes you want to know what are people actually searching for so that you can create content around it. It's very valuable to create content that people aren't necessarily searching for. However, it's equally as valuable and strategically as valuable in a specific kind of setting to create content that people are searching for. And of course, there's other things to look for. I know this is not necessarily a blogging type video, but definitely helps. And to be honest, like a tool like this, although it might be simple, it is extremely, extremely valuable. These are one of the tools that I would say, It doesn't necessarily print you money or make you money, but it gives you an infinite opportunity to discover money, if that makes sense. And that's why these things are very valuable. My whole passive income journey, I guess you could say, the thing that bought me my financial freedom was creating blogs on underserved topics. And those underserved topics were discovered through tools like this. Now, at the time, I didn't have the ability to code. I didn't have the ability to create apps like this. And I used to pay for an app called SEMrush. And SEMrush at the time was well over $100 a month. I think I was paying $199. And then there was another software that I was using called Ahrefs, which was also, I believe, somewhere around 100 or 99 or 119. I can't remember the exact number, but I was paying well over $300+ a month just on basic keyword tools like this. And this is another tool that I created here called the Keyword Magic tool, where I can type in a keyword and it will create questions or ideas related to that keyword, right? So sometimes I might sit down and I'm just confused, or I'm not sure what to write about or what to create for blogging. Those ideas will come up, and yes, they do take time to populate, so it's definitely not something that's easy. But you could see here, like for example, relating to the keyword passive income, is passive income real or a scam? You could see the trend is kind of growing on that. We could see different keyword trends. We could see different charts. And yeah, guys, this is just one of those things that drastically help people make more money. Let's actually use this in a circumstance now relating to Etsy, for example. Let's go on Etsy.com and let's look at, for example, something that's going to sell well. Let's see here. Custom text embroidered hat. So let's just take this keyword here and let's find all the different keywords associated with it. And let's see the search demand. So we'll type in here, custom text embroidered hat. Let's hit analyze. And that is one keyword that has 10 search volume. Now that doesn't seem much, but let's look into things a little bit more. Let's type in the word custom hat, right? Or embroidered hat. Let's hit analyze now. And I bet you that search volume is definitely going to go up. Okay, let's see here. Okay, 27,000 now for custom embroidered hats. 27,100. Custom embroideries, 22,000. Embroidered hat, 18,100. Of course, you can see here the competition is high, which I would assume to be so because it's the first product that I effectively clicked on for Etsy. And you can see how strong that search volume is and how it relates. Because if I took this exact keyword and I searched it on Google, custom embroidered hat, there's a good chance that somehow, some way, that Etsy link is going to show up, and if I click, it might not necessarily, oh, well, there it is. I was going to say it might not necessarily take me to the exact product, but indeed it did. So I find that pretty, I don't want to say curious, not curious, but interesting. I find it pretty interesting, and it just goes to show that, people have different routes and different ways to get to a product that you're selling. And it's not always necessarily that people are searching just through Etsy. People can find your product through Google the exact same way I just did right here, right now. So, people might search different terms. That doesn't mean that they're not going to end up in the same spot. And that's one of the important things to realize. Like, for example, I thought I saw custom baseball hats here. That's a 14,800 search volume a month. Just because somebody searched this doesn't exclude the fact that they might actually purchase this product. They absolutely could, and it's very likely. And I was having a conversation with one of my viewers earlier today about conversion rates. A lot of things control conversion rates in this case. It's not just the search demand, but it's the search intent. It's the cost of the product, the way that it's viewed, the pictures, and more importantly, how it competes against the other competitive listings on Etsy. So, a tool like this is not one of those kind of tools. So the main takeaway here is, obviously, you don't have to use my SEO tool. If you're a member in our members area, you'll get access to this tool completely for free. I'll probably sell this tool separate, as a separate access tool. But you don't have to use my tools. There's a lot of tools out there, right? But you should be using an SEO tool if you make money online or if you intend to make money online. Because whether it be YouTube, if you're making YouTube videos, whether you're making Etsy products, whether you're making Redbubble products, if you are sitting down and paying attention to whatever it is that you're creating, you might want to look into that. Now, I want to put a little FYI here. people see my videos on, for example, my automation videos using Design Sensei, create, let's just say, 100 designs of a product, and then slowly upload them. The only reason why I'm allowing those uploads to go up without doing the SEO research is because I look at that income at that point in time as an automated source. It's not a source that I need to do research on. It's not a source that I need to look up or interact with necessarily. I'm really only using it for catalog-based income, which is to say that I want to upload as much as I can without paying attention to the numbers because it's automated. You know, the fact that it is automated and a machine can take care of it for me, I don't have to necessarily worry about does it get search demand or does it or doesn't, because my income doesn't rely on it. If there's something that my income, some income source that my income relies on, right? Now I'm going to have to do deep research. I'm going to have to sit down, analyze, and do my research properly. But if it's a source that's autopilot, right? It's making me money on autopilot and it doesn't take too much energy of mine, I'm not going to stress out too much worrying about, oh, is the search demand good? Or how well does my products compare to the competition in terms of SEO? That's not something I'll worry about too much, right? The main hustle, the main focus, yes, I'll invest as much time as possible. But in order for me to reach other passive income businesses, right? Like, for example, automation, uploading products to Etsy, uploading products to Redbubble, things like that, I'm going to utilize AI and automation, not do the main research, because at that point in time, it's just extra. I wouldn't have had the time to do it manually anyway. Does that make sense? So that's kind of my point of view here. We've been doing a lot of work behind the scenes, but like I said, these are all tools that people in our members area can access. You don't have to be in my members area to access this tool. You can either pay for it separately when it eventually does come out, or you can, purchase a tool that does this exact same thing, but it is necessary that if you plan on making money online, whatever it is that you do, utilize Google's traffic to get an influx of visitors to whatever it is that you're doing. YouTube, selling products, creating an e-commerce store, a Shopify store, etc. And not to prolong this video, but I told this story before when I had my very first business, which was a clothing company online, a website online. I call it a clothing company. Really, it was just a website at first. People started buying products through SEO first. In fact, it took me 3 months to build the website, then 3 months to get that very first sale, which is 6 months in total to get the very first sale. And it was through SEO. And I told this story multiple times, but I came home from college, checked the laptop, refreshed the page on my dashboard in my store, and boom, there was the sale. And I sold that hoodie for $59, and I was amazed because I couldn't believe somebody at the time, I was poor, I couldn't afford pretty much anything, how somebody can pay $59 for a hoodie. And like I said, it was purely through SEO. And then from there, and that point on, my success with SEO started snowballing, because that's how SEO kind of works. And Google looks at these signals that people behave and interact with certain links, and then they reward it positively if those experiences are positive. So I got more and more traffic, more and more sales, and then it became a snowball effect from there. So it was really a phenomenal experience, and that's why I've been hooked on SEO like an addiction ever since. So for me, SEO is not going anywhere. I'm always going to use it. I'm always going to do it, and hopefully this video helps out. I'll talk to you guys later. Thanks for watching. Peace out. Bye.